What's up guys, Mike from Rockville, and today I'm going to show you how you can mount the swivel bracket onto your WET ARRAY 5 speaker. Now I'm going to be using the black speaker here, but some of the B-roll that we have in this video is using the white speaker. It's exactly the same for either color. So when you get your WET ARRAY 5 speaker, you're going to actually notice on the back over here, we have two picture frame brackets. And you'll see they have like this 90-degree angle, and that's because you can mount them either horizontally onto your wall or vertically onto your wall. Now, because this is an IP55 rated speaker, you can actually see that the speaker terminals have this very thick encasing which comes out. So if you ever want to use the picture frame brackets for mounting it onto the wall, we actually recommend using a 4-inch or a 5-inch long drywall screw with an anchor system. So you're going to want to get a screw that is long enough to go into an anchor, but then stick out so that once you're on the wall, it's not hitting into these speaker terminal. So again, we recommend 4-inch screws or 5-inch screws, but you have to use them with a drywall anchor in the wall so that the weight of the speaker does not pull out when you mount them either horizontally or vertically. Now, when you are mounting it with the picture frames, the best way to do it is actually to take the speaker wherever you want to put it onto the wall, either vertically or horizontally. Take the picture frame, mark a part of this on the wall, and then also the bottom picture frame bracket onto the wall. Then you're going to drill holes for your anchors, pop your anchors through, and then you're going to take your 4-inch or 5-inch drywall screw or anchor screw, screw it in just so that you have enough room for this to pass through. And then you're just going to hang it like a picture frame. Now the picture frame mounts are great if you want to mount the speaker directly onto the wall, either horizontally or vertically, but we actually recommend that you use the included swivel mount to get the most out of your speaker. So when you open your WET ARRAY 5 box, you'll notice that it also comes with a smaller box that includes all of the swivel mount pieces. We have the horizontal base plate, the vertical swivel mount, and then all of the additional hardware, which includes various size screws. To actually start mounting your speaker, you're going to want some additional tools though. We recommend grabbing a small Phillips screwdriver, a Phillips screw gun, and then if you're mounting it into a wall that isn't directly attached to a beam or you're just going straight into drywall, we definitely recommend that you use 4 screws and anchors. In our case, when we used our 4 screws and anchors, we used part of a 1/4-inch anchor kit. But you can use any anchor and screws that will fit through these 4 screw holes over here. So remember again, you're going to see a lot of the installation footage include our white speaker system. I'm going to be talking through it with the black speaker here, but remember it's exactly the same. So the first thing you're going to want to do when you start installing your new bracket is you'll actually look over here to these 4 screws here. You're going to remove them with either your Phillips screwdriver or your Phillips screw gun. So let me do that now. You're going to just line it up. And you're going to remove each screw, and it also has this little plastic washer over here which you can keep with the screw. So we're going to do that 3 more times. Once you have those 4 screws removed, you can actually take your vertical piece over here and line it up to those screw holes and then screw it into place. But before you do that, you want to attach it to the base plate. Now before you attach it to the base plate, you actually want to take the base plate, and this is what you can use to mark your holes on your wall for your anchor system. So in our case, we took our horizontal base plate, lined it up onto the position of the wall where we wanted to mount our speaker, took a Sharpie and marked 4 different corners for each of the 4 screw holes. And then once we removed our horizontal base plate, we drilled holes into those 4 markings we made on our wall. Then we put our anchors in. And then just as a check, we line this back up onto our wall to make sure all of the anchor holes fit with the screw holes on the corner of the horizontal base plate. Once you know that's all done, we actually are going to attach this to the vertical piece like so. You're just going to take your horizontal piece and your vertical piece, and you're going to line it up like this, and you're just going to let it drop through. Now you should have a little bit of play where it can swivel back and forth. Now an important thing to note is wherever you drop the vertical piece to, so for example, I'm dropping it from the top, this is now the top, which is going to get mounted to the top of the speaker. The only reason that that is important is because when the speaker is mounted to the wall, you always want gravity acting to secure the speaker onto the wall. So we want these 2 pieces to go to the top of our speaker, and these 2 screw holes to attach to the bottom of the speaker. So now that we know that this is the bottom of the mount and this is the top of our mount, we're going to take this, line it up to those 4 screw holes, and then you're just going to take those 4 screws you removed at the beginning from the speaker and screw them back into place with now the mount attached to the speaker. So I'm going to do that now. And you can always swivel the bracket out of the way whenever you're screwing in your screws. And now you can see that I have the mount fully attached to the speaker. So now the next step is to take the horizontal base plate with the speaker on it, and we're going to screw this into the wall using our screws that were part of our anchor system. Remember, those are anchors and screws that you need to get separately. And again, we recommend 1/4 inch anchor systems. I'll talk to you and show you visually what to do. We're going to then line this up back into the 4 anchors that we have on the wall in the location that we want to set up our speakers. We're going to take our screws and screw them through each of the 4 holes. But before you do the last screw, you're going to want to take your safety cable, take this end, line it up with one of the holes on your bracket, and then screw in your anchor system screw to hold the safety cable into place. And again, this is just a safety cable in case for some reason the speaker breaks off the mount. It's going to hold the speaker from falling fully and getting damaged. So now you have everything on the wall. It's time to set the angle and the adjustment of your speaker. Now this speaker is adjustable in 2 different positions, vertically up and down, and then horizontally left to right. So we're gonna go to our hardware kit again. So this big screw with the fly nut is actually what's going to hold it into our vertical position. So you'll actually notice on the side of the mount here, there's this hole here, and that lines up to different positions on the vertical part of the speaker. And you can angle that either up or down. And then once you find a position you like, so in this position, the speaker is moving up and down. Once you find a position you want to lock it in vertically, you're going to take your long bolt, run it through this hole, which is actually going to run through the whole speaker, and then out on the other end. And then to lock it all into place, you're going to take your fly nut and run it on the other side, just holding it in that vertical position. So now we have the speaker locked in the most optimal vertical position for the room. So once we have the bolt and fly nut through, the speaker's not going to move up and down anymore, but it'll still be able to move left and right or horizontally until we lock that into place. So just like we did when we were setting it vertically, you're going to pick a position you like horizontally, set it in that position, take 2 of the screws from the hardware kit, you're going to run them through these 2 screw holes over here. You can start the screws catching with your hand, and then we're going to use our screwdriver to really lock it into place. And now you can see it's not going to rotate horizontally anymore as we've locked it into that horizontal position. So now if you ever want to make any adjustments, grab your Phillips screwdriver, loosen these 2 screws a little bit, rotate it into the horizontal position you now want, and then lock it back into place. And it's the same with the vertical position. If you ever want to make any adjustments in that place, you're going to take out the bolt and fly nut, pick the new position you want, and then lock it back into place. Hopefully this video showed you how easy it is to mount your speaker and how to attach the swivel mount to your speaker. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our tech support team through phone or email. And if you want to learn more about 70 volt and how to tap your speaker, watch these other videos that we've made. As always, I'm Mike from Rockville, and I'll see you in the next one.